Welcome back to Sagas of the Icelanders, week number 4, hour number 2. It is so Rovik, did you want to like do the do the duel and the sacrifice right away, or did you want to wait until the day of midsummer, which would be like
Uh,
5 days from now?
oh, I thought we were meant to do it as fast as possible. Like that was kind of like the discussion that Ravik had with Ingeborg, and I think he would have like heeded that advice.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So you're the one who put out the call for the sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
What is like what's the setup of the sacrificial area like for you? I guess, are you starting to involve yourself more in holy matters? Are you um
I
you
would think
know
so. I would think Ravik would feel it's kind of his responsibility to take whatever knowledge he has from the village that he grew up in, from his parents, from Ingeborg, from whatever Gauti he knew beforehand, and try to like help facilitate that. Because obviously he feels like this whole sacrifice is his responsibility.
mhm.
So, he has. He would probably have had like if we can just kind of like DM rule this if he would have had somebody make sure that there was a herg created, which is like the sort of slab where someone has their like their throat slit so that all the blood pours into the thingy. I think that's what it is. I
Yeah.
think so. One of those, and there would have been like a bonfire created, and like torches everywhere, and I
Is
guess like bowls for the blood to be caught in and
is
all that
there
kind of
a
stuff.
local Gothar that you contacted in order to like make sure this is all done according to the proper rites?
That's something I was going to ask you. I actually don't know who else is in this village, so or like in this like general area, like because
Yeah.
we what does is Liot just like another
He's just
the
another
man
man.
or
Yep.
okay
He's
okay.
just another man.
So I don't know if
But
there is like a religious figure or if we would get the Sitkona to do it.
like if you want there to be a religious figure, then we can say, yeah, there's another guy who lives somewhere nearby.
Okay.
His name is who knows, and yeah, Steinar.
Okay. So yeah, Steiner the Gothi would probably come and I guess bring his blade for the sacrifices.
Hmm.
Um I think Ravik would probably also what wait, hold on. He would probably also sacrifice one of his cattle.
Mm.
So he's down to two cattle. Um and I guess whatever other like all the people are bringing like small tokens to be like sacrificed, right? So
Yeah, something
that
equivalent to like a bit of silver,
right.
I think is what
So
you rolled.
all of those things can be like brought as well, and maybe there's like a sort of place for all of that to be that have like I don't know if they do candles. Do they make candles? Was that a thing?
I
Yeah.
think so.
So
I think there were candles.
Yeah,
yeah.
out of
So I
tallow or
guess
something like
Yeah.
that.
they're kind of like an altar of small tokens and things like that.
Yeah,
Um, and I think maybe Google Chat can correct me if I'm wrong,
Google
but
Chat.
I'm pretty sure that everybody wears like cloth like gowns for the sacrifice. If they are a sacrifice, then I think they are naked. I don't know.
Sure,
I don't remember.
let's
So
go with
yeah,
it.
let's go with it.
Makes
So
sense to me.
maybe Gurney is naked. I don't know. This is a thing. This
Mm.
is you know yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely
A
naked.
little bit of fan service. You guys like it. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Probably at the moment they're dressed, but they're like she's sort of in a waiting area that the Gothi Steinar has sort of set up off away from the primary festival site.
Yeah.
And
And
he's
then
probably
maybe
administering rites to her and talking to her of Valhalla and of the gods and what's in store for her. And he's, taking her through rites that will ritually purify her.
yeah, there's probably like some herbs burning or something. And
Mhm.
then there would also be um oh, I wanted to have something and now I forget what it was. Maybe there's somebody playing drums as well. So I don't know if like Liat has like a drummer somewhere in his land or something like that. I don't know.
Eamon, do you play
Yeah.
drums?
Oh man, if you're down with me playing drums, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
good.
I'm down.
Right on.
Yeah.
Eamon's playing the drums.
That's why he's got the berserker part. 'Cause he's
Yeah. He's got the beat
Um,
in his chest.
so I think Rovik would probably arrive, and I would think that he's probably, spent the night like thinking deeply about things and trying to just focus on the fight, and praying to Tyr would probably be his god of choice for this, like, well, not praying, but like, like asking for his blessing, asking for his favor.
Yeah.
And he would probably arrive without any armor or anything like that, because it doesn't feel like it's a sort of war battle. It feels more like it's single hand combat, and this is like a holy fight, or like not a holy fight, but like a fated fight. So I think he would forego any armor, and he would probably not bother with a shield. He would probably have two blades. So yeah, that's kind of how I see Ravik looking.
Okay.
And I think maybe he would have also drawn on his face, maybe with some sheep's blood, I don't know, or like blood from the cattle that might have been sacrificed. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Is it like the night before? Are you like preparing and like meditating and, communing with Tyr in order to prepare yourself for the battle on the morrow?
Sure. Or it's just the battle, like, or like, the morning of or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to speak with Rovik before he goes to face Scum in the Holm Ganga?
I would definitely have spoken with him.
All right. So, Eamon, what does that look like? What are you doing when
Uh,
Eamon comes upon you, Rovik?
Probably, maybe I'm, probably just looking at my boys like playing in the field or something like that, and I'm just sort of standing silently next to my house.
Yeah. So what? You've got Harald and Rolf.
Yeah.
Are they just like running back and forth? Are they like fake dueling? Are they like, haha, I'll be
I would
father
think-
and you be Scum,
I think so.
Scum the smelly.
Let's do that. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah, so we've got this idyllic scene, the fields waving in the gentle summer breeze, the two boys pretending to fight as if their father like their father will be soon. And Eamon, you come up upon Rovik. I guess his back is to you as you approach. How do you approach him?
Well, if we can step back a little bit. I don't know.
Totally.
Okay. I think I probably would have talked to Ingeborg again because I have like a bad feeling about what's about to happen.
Okay.
It's like my childhood friend is going to battle to the death, which is kind of a little intense. And also, I'm worried about the sacrifice that we're making because it might not be, because the first vision was not, it was for her youngest son. So maybe it wouldn't be the right offer.
Yeah. Okay. So
Like a false sacrifice is even worse because that that
Are
could
you
piss the gods off even worse.
approaching Ingeborg about that, or is that something you would talk to Steinar, the Gothi, about?
Your cat.
Yep.
It always brings flashbacks because I always think of those stupid worm things.
The stupid worm things from Dungeon World
Yeah, from
with the
Dungeon
face.
World. Yeah, with the cat face.
Yeah, totally.
I guess I don't have any bonds with her. So I guess sure, I would maybe go with the
With Steinar.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess. So like, what exactly is the timeline for this, Rovik? Is the fight going to be like tomorrow at dawn, or what?
Yeah, I would think that the fight's going to be pretty soon, because
Okay.
I mean, there's just no reason to delay if Ingeborg has said like this needs to happen fast. Otherwise, the gods will just like keep wrecking your shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So you call the sacrifice. Everybody starts showing up. Everybody's preparing. You send out the call for the Gothi Steinar. He comes in the evening and then he begins setting up the area and like ritually cleansing the ground and making sure that there's enough space for the Homganga. Because traditionally this battle is supposed to take place out on the islands on the south coast where there's like little islands that are just big enough for two people to fight on. But because like you guys sort of wanted to do it quickly enough that you didn't want to go to the islands. He's actually laid out a square of cloth that's approximately like 15 feet by 15 feet or something like that. And then he's begun like digging a line around the cloth that's about like 30 feet out from the edge. That's beyond that line is where all of the observants have to stay while you two are fighting.
Okay.
So he's probably standing there, like just digging a line in the soil with his staff when you come upon him, Eamon. How do you approach Steinar?
I guess a little cautiously because I don't want to like scare him. But I'm sure like he probably already knows I'm there.
Yeah. He sort of, digging into the earth, he hears you like crunching on the grasses as you approach. He just pauses for a moment. He says, "What is it?" He keeps digging.
I say, I must have a word with you.
Very well. What can I do for you? You're Eamon, yes, the Huskarl for Rovik.
I am.
Ah, I've heard of you. You are a loyal man.
As much as I can be.
It is noble. The gods look favorably upon those who are loyal to their friends.
Yes. But I have a bad feeling about what is about to happen.
A bad feeling? Tell me more. What concerns you?
I kind of explained the vision that Ingeborg presented to me personally.
And what was it again? It was of your beloved Ingrid, sweating in a fever, very pregnant, possibly dying in childbirth, right?
Yeah, and then the face of Rovik's son being the sacrifice.
Okay, yeah. So your concern is like you're worried that they're going to make the wrong sacrifice and it's not going to work?
Yeah, that we're going to have a false sacrifice.
Yeah. So he sort of frowns for a moment. And then he turns to you, he says, Eamon, you're a good man. And your faith is impressive. It sounds like you really believe in the gods and in serving their will. But the gods are fickle. They have many desires. A willing sacrifice, no matter who it is always a flattering offer, a flattering tribute to the gods. I have spoken with Gerney Nightwolf. Her heart is pure and her belief is strong. She will enter the halls of Valhalla tomorrow. As for Scum, he is a mighty warrior. If he bests your friend, then your friend will feast in the halls of Valhalla as a warrior. If he falls, well, I have spoken with him. He has assured me of his conviction, and I believe that his heart is pure in this. I do not know the spirits of the land the way the Sithkona does, but as for the gods, they will be pleased with the sacrifice.
Eamon kind of has this expression of just like relief. Like he just feels this weight being lifted off his shoulders because he's been holding this for like obviously not that long, but like a day or two as he's been trying to like convince Gerney and like help Rovik and try to find people that, we've been searching for and make sure the sacrifice goes properly. So for him, he's just kind of like super happy and he gets overly excited about what what's his name again?
Steinar?
Steiner says, and kind of like hugs him, gives him a good hug, and then like realizes what's happening and is like, gets his composure back and says to him, thank you. That is what I needed to hear.
Yes, of course. Now, please, I have to prepare the area and make sure that everything is in order so that the gods are truly pleased with the combat and with the sacrifices to follow. You look fairly strong. Here, help me carry this stone. And he leads you over to where the large slab is laid out. And he's trying to lift it up and place it on top of a set of stumps.
Yeah, I do it no problem.
Awesome. Yeah, the two of you bend your backs to the weight of the stone and slams down up on these stumps. And there's like a weird moment of silence after it cracks down onto the wood, and then everything in the nearby fields and forests is just quiet for a moment. Thank you, Eamon. Now, if you don't mind, I must attend to my business. Perhaps go spend some time with your friend. Drink ale this evening and recount tales of past glory. It will fill his heart with the will to battle. Serve him well in tomorrow's fight.
I nod and walk off to go find Rovik.
Nice. So, do you find him that evening, or do you come upon him the next morning while he's like watching his sons? I mean, Rovik, have you made yourself scarce in the evening?
No, I would think that I'd spend like the last evening with my family.
Okay.
So probably just like, a meal with my kids and my Gunhild.
Your Gunhild.
Yeah.
So.
And I'd actually ask if Hilda would be there or not.
What do you think, Hilda?
I think. Oh man, I mean, if anything, I think I would be watching Scum because he's part of my crew, and I feel like since I'm still pretty wary of him because I think he killed Grim, but I'm not sure, that I just sit there and like sort of just be watching him, making sure he's not trying to run or do anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody trusts Scum.
I don't trust Scum.
Scum is like, he's practicing his fighting. He's got a shield. He's got his sword. He's just sort of hacking away at a tree, like practicing his footwork, trying to make sure that he gets his reactions nice and quick so he can bring that shield up for the last second when he really needs it. He sees you watching and he throws down his weapons and he just like reaches down and pulls off his shirt and reveals his like huge, bulging, muscly Viking body. It's huge and bulging.
Right. So, Hilda is completely distracted with something. She's watching him, but she's clearly someplace else and not even focused on any rippling huge parts of his body, and is just sort of like there but not there.
She's hella distracted then.
Yeah. Scum gets
there's
totally
clearly
tilted.
something on her mind.
He gets totally tilted when he sees that. Like, this dark look comes over his face. He says, "Oh, Hilda, what's on your mind? You look distressed." He's like doing like the peck dancing thing.
Fucking hell.
You don't even notice. He's like,
Hilda just looks up, and in the most completely non-sarcastic way is just like, "I'm not the only one who looks distressed," and just sort of just gets up and just walks off. Like she doesn't even have the time of day at the moment. She's just somewhere else. Yeah. Something's on her mind.
Yeah. He calls after you. He says, "Hilda, wait. Come back. Spar with me. Help me practice. Tomorrow I will face Rovik in combat and I will beat him for his improprieties before. I will prove to him that I am a true man of honor and glory."
She stops and then chuckles and is half turns around and replies, Well, then we should save the sparring for tomorrow, and walks off.
Yeah. Scum just gets this like dark scowl on his face. He picks up his sword and his shield and he just starts hacking at the tree. There are chips flying everywhere. Where do you go after that, Hilda?
I just sort of... A lot has happened. My shield maiden buddy is off in the woods. The man I want to super bang is about to get killed by this man who killed the other guy super banged.
Yeah.
My sister's husband is definitely going to die. So I'm not sure what I'm just sort of on the outskirts of the village and just walking, but trying not to get in anyone's way because I realize I'm sort of an outsider and this is not my business, but I want to do something, but I can't.
Yeah. So, you're walking along the edge of the fields, Hilda, and in your distraction, and you hear someone sobbing.
I approach quietly, but not to the point of being like, "Hey, who's crying?"
Okay.
Right? So I hear it, but I'm just like,
Yeah. You see, a woman of 30 some years, curly blonde hair, a nice, I guess it would be a woolen dress, sitting on a fallen tree.
Damn you, Steven. A nice woolen dress.
Look, the gesture was
A really
towards the
great pair of
clothing.
woolen dresses.
She's sitting on a log facing away from you and sobbing into her hands. It's Gunhild. It's your sister.
Oh, right. Yeah, she'd probably be sad, I guess.
So
You guess.
I come up behind
forgot
her
about
and plop my shield on the ground, and I sit down on it and put my arm around her and sort of like nuzzle up next to her, but say, "What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be with your husband?"
She's surprised as you approach. She wipes her eyes dry and she says, "Oh, yes, I will go to him tonight. But, Hilda, I know it's the God's will and that his life was marked for its end as he was born by the fates. But he is my husband. He has taken good care of me this time. I have gone from Norway to this new strange land with him, and it will test me to live without him. I am afraid for his life, Hilda."
I like hold her head and stare into her eyes and tell her that I'm your sister, bound by blood. I came to this godforsaken land because of you, because you said your husband needed help. I will do what I can. You know what I've always said. Fuck the gods. They've never done anything for me. They've never done anything for you. You've done it for yourself. And if need be, we'll show them and everyone in your town what it means to be from our family. And I give her the biggest fucking hug anyone has ever given anyone.
Nice. She sort of like snorts, coughs, laughs when you say "fuck the gods." She's a little surprised.
Fuck 'em.
It sounds like you're trying to talk a little sense into your sister here.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you roll 2d6 plus your versed?
Yeah, sure. Uh-oh, I accidentally closed the... Hold on! I closed
Come
the
back.
screen!
Come back.
Oh, God! Hold on! Hold on! Imagine I'm super setting up a massive roll, like the biggest effing roll that ever happened.
It's going to be a huge pair of rolls.
I swear to God, this is going to be the two biggest rolls you have ever seen. Massive triple D, double D rolls. 2D rolls.
Wow.
2D. Yep.
2D rolls. These are the biggest 2D rolls you've ever seen.
Are they natural 20s?
Yeah. R2D6, did you say?
Yes, 2d6.
God help me. Let's hope this works. 7?
7. All right, you have a 0 in your versed. That's not too bad. So you get to hold 1, and you can spend your hold 1 for 1 to give advice on a favorable course of action or warnings against a course of action. So, she looks a lot calmer after your biggest hug ever. And she sort of wipes the tears away from her cheeks, and she says, "Ah, sister, you have lived your life very differently from I have lived mine. What shall I do? I know not how to handle this situation. My husband, he may die on the morrow. What shall I do for him this evening? What shall I do tomorrow if he falls? Tell me."
And I simply reply, be there for him. And give her like a little cheek caress thingy.
Nice. Yeah. It's a tender moment.
Very tender. I'm sweet when I'm not fucking dudes and then murdering them. I'm
It's
very
true.
sweet.
Yep. No, that was very nice. She nods. She stands up and she says, "I have to go to him. Hilda, I know you don't favor the gods, but it's clear they favor you."
Oh, sis.
Yeah. And she runs off towards the house. Ingeborg,
Hello.
I want to know what you're doing the night before this. Like, what's going on in Ingeborg's hut?
A lot of prep work.
Yeah?
A lot of prep work. We're getting some new bone shipments in.
Yeah. What does
We're
prep
gonna-
work look
From
like
Amazon.
for you?
Getting all these bones and kind of just like getting ready to set them all up around the sacrificial area. And then I've got a lot of herbs, and I'm kind of just making some herbal things to set on the top as like a bedding to lay the person on.
So you're helping the Gothi set this up.
Yeah.
Are you being entirely even keeled with your preparation here, or are you injecting some of your magics into what you're doing?
Yeah. I'm let's see. I'm trying to think of how. Let's see. There's the sacrificial thing, and then there's candles. I'm trying to think of how I can rig this in some way.
Well, like, did you make a candle that has special materials in it where when it's burned, it's going to cast a spell over the area? Are you like sewing bones into the ground to throw off the fates from manipulating this area? Anything like that?
Yeah. I'm just I'm setting up the bones in a way where there's like a goat head in the like center of the sacrificial thing, not center, but like in the front of it, and then like with little like smaller bones at the side of it, and it's almost like I'm creating this god that we are giving a sacrifice to.
So you're kind of like manipulating it so that the sacrifice doesn't go to the gods, but instead to like one of the spirits of the land? Is that what you're doing here?
No, but I want that now.
Awesome. Okay. So like, are you trying to disguise this from the Gothi at all? Or are you just super out in the open? Yeah, I'm gonna fuck up this sacrifice. What you gonna do?
Yeah, we gotta hide this. All right, so we got like some bushes. And I like take some leaves and I place it over the bones.
Yeah.
As well as some other herbs I've like sprinkled on there. Various herbs.
You've noticed over the course of the evening, like you've been running back and forth a little bit, and your son and your daughter have been helping you just like gather materials or bring things to you. Hilda's been hanging around some. You've noticed every once in a while, Steinar, he seems to be appreciating your daughter and her help.
Oh.
What do you think about that? I mean, is that something that bothers you, or is that something that you are excited by? You know, Steinar the Gothi is a very well placed man. He has a rich house higher in the higher section of Iceland, away from the coast a little bit. He's a very holy man.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm like, all right, I let it happen.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, so you're trying to like hide these bones under a couple nearby bushes. Are you waiting for anything when you're doing this, or are you just trying to like slip them down there at whatever opportune moment presents itself?
Yeah, I'm just taking opportune times to go back there, make sure everybody's away doing something else and prepping for it, and then I'm like sneaking back over there and just putting something down.
Yeah. Okay. Would you roll to tempt fate?
Oh,
So
damn.
that's plus your weird. So we're
Alright.
gonna see
You're weird.
if the Gothard
Weird.
notices you.
All right. +2. Shit, though.
Damn.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Okay, so I think like the way it plays out is that you're preparing to place these bones, and then Hilda comes running up and she's brought you a couple more materials. And then as she turns to go, Steinar sort of like wanders over and he starts just sort of casually speaking with her as she's walking back to the hut. And they seem like they're having a really nice time together. They're laughing and just generally enjoying each other's company. And he wanders a little bit further away from the sacrificial preparation area than he has been for a while. And that's when you get your chance to like really mess with all the stuff.
Really solidify what I'm doing.
Yeah. Like, so you've placed all these bones around. You've got a couple candles and a couple of herbs and stuff. Are there any like spells that you're casting back in your hut, or do you feel like sowing these elements around the sacrificial area is enough for you?
Yeah, I think that's enough. I don't need to do anything else.
Okay, nice. Is there anything that anybody else wanted to do the night or the morning before the combat?
I guess Rovik and I would probably talk.
Yeah. Is that where you come across Rovik, where he's watching his sons fight this duel?
Yeah. But I would assume that before I get to him, I probably drank a lot.
Yeah? So it's the
Yeah.
morning, you're pretty drunk.
Oh, it's morning or not in the evening? I would think that we would have been talking all night.
Okay.
Or
Rovik?
until he had to.
Like, I don't know, smoking something if that's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I should probably have
maybe, and
done
maybe
more
also just like sparring and whatnot. Like I feel like we would have had a bro moment.
Prep. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, yeah, let's see what that looks like then.
And I've changed my mind, actually. I'm not going to have 2 blades. I'm going to have a shield and a blade because Google Chat was like educating me on how it would have been.
Google Chat knows what they're talking about, that's for sure.
Google Chat.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, you two are sort of sparring with your sword and shield. The way it works is that you always get 3 shields. If one of them breaks, you can grab your second shield or your third shield. But if all 3 of them break, then you're kind of out of luck.
Okay.
So yeah, you two are you sparring in the evening? Are you drinking? What's the evening look like?
A combination.
Drinking and sparring at the same
Drinking
time.
Sparring. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
That should end well.
Yeah. This is good. It's going to be a great idea.
And then apparently we're also smoking something that Shannon's.
They
got.
never
Hey,
made it
you
to that
know,
fight.
like-
Google Chat is smoking something that Icelanders did in the year 1100. Find out for us. But in the meantime, what are your moves?
Maybe just
Eamon?
eating.
Are you a
moves?
berserker?
Yeah, I'm a berserker, man.
So like, Rovik, I got bad news for you, man.
yeah.
Like, Eamon is kicking your butt.
Yep. definitely. That's why he's my friend.
How do you feel about that on the evening before your duel?
I guess it's gonna start to dawn on Ravik that not only, like, I mean, he's kind of been personally fighting with his age and with his standing for quite a while now. Like, ever since that broken rib a few months back, he's kind of felt like, or however long that's been, like 6 weeks or whatever, he's been kind of feeling like, my body isn't what it used to be, and that's terrifying, but there's also nothing I can do about it, like nothing. So as I notice, like, all the strength that helped me build my house, all the strength that helped me, like, the fruit of my God's favored loins and all this stuff, like everything that I've produced has been, like is going to have to carry on, because I'm starting to feel like my body is now failing me. And it's not failing anybody else, so thank goodness for that, because all this work would have been for nothing. But it's failing me, and I'm gonna have to come to terms with that. So it's kind of like this, like, I'm frustrated because I'm angry I can't change it, but at the same time I just, I'm gonna have to just accept it. So, and I think Ravik's probably been through quite a bit in his life, like having to leave to come to Iceland in the first place means that, like, he's faced things that are out of his control. And he's decided that, like, anything he can control is the best way to, like, provide for his family. And so he's very pragmatic in that sense. And I think that, like, after the broken rib, and then when Hilda, like, breathed in his face, like seductive, youthful breath, and was all like, yeah, Ravik, you still got it. That was stunning to him, because he'd already been feeling like, he's old, and what's he going to do? And how's he going to, like, his boys aren't quite big enough yet, except for Ref, but Ref's like, already trying to start his own man thing and all this stuff. So that one spark from Hilda has been, like, the only good thing that's happened to him in the last couple of months. And that's really bizarre, because Hilda is, like, has always been a pain in his ass, has always caused problems for him. So why is she all of a sudden, like, the only thing that he kind of goes, oh shit, like, this is the only nice thing I have going for me. So if Eamon's, like, besting him and, like, bashing the shield into Ravik's, like, arm a little bit, and he's starting to feel like his back creak, and it's just like, he's starting to feel futile. He's just starting to feel like he can see what's going to happen, even if he doesn't have the sight, right? He's not a Seas Kona, but he feels like he just can sense what's going to happen. And I think he's just going to go out swinging. So he's going to kind of just start pushing back with everything he can with Eamon, just to sort of see if he can at least do something to Eamon. But it's not going to, like, he knows that Eamon's got it, and he doesn't. Eamon's younger, stronger. Yeah.
Why don't the two of you both roll plus young?
Okay.
All right. What is my young?
I actually don't think. Yeah, I don't have anything to young. That's right.
Is it 2d6 plus our young?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Rovik, you come back at Eamon, more aggressively, but man, Eamon is just so fast and
Nailing
so
it.
skilled. He has spent so long practicing with the sword. He is, like, ready for Viking season. He's been sparring with his buddies, Carl. Yeah.
Carl. Okay, so as
I think
Eamon
at this
asks
point,
me, like, if you like if Maggie, if you, like, knock, like, Ravik to the ground or whatever, then Ravik's just gonna kind of, like, lay there for longer than he needs to. Like, he just kind of rolls over from his side where he fell onto his back, and he's just gonna kind of lay there on the ground, like, let the shield go, let the sword go, and just look at you and just be like, I need you to do me the greatest of favors that I could ever ask for.
well, I feel like Eamon would have kind of done something as well in that case. Like, as I'm besting you, I probably would have given you some kind of, like, motivational speech or, like, training. I mean, on this front, especially because, like, Eamon's like, Rovik, you have done so much. You have so much to live for. You have heirs to what you have built. You have brought all of us here to find new land, to build, to bring our cattle and reproduce them. And we have found more people to join us and go to various different lands to reap the benefits of what they sow. Why would you just now lay out your sword and shield and let scum of all people take what you have earned, what you have worked so hard for? Why?
I do not feel I'm going to let scum take them from me. I feel as though there is nothing I can do. And I need to know that if scum is going to best me in this combat, that you, my true friend Eamon, can ensure that nothing bad happens to my sons.
Of course.
Eamon, has it crossed your mind yet that this might be the last evening you spend with Rovik alive?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why I see what's happening right now.
It's very somber. Yeah.
Have you brought anything for Rovik as a token of your esteem for him?
Yeah.
Well, didn't you have to bring? You had to bring Gurney as the sacrifice for your son.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was, that's because you made the call to sacrifice. But I'm wondering, is there a personal token or anything like that?
Yeah.
A measure of friendship.
I give him. So I kind of reach into my leather armor piece or whatever I'm wearing. I don't know what I'm wearing exactly. And I pull out kind of this necklace piece that's around my neck. And I rip it off. And this is the emerald gem thing that Ingrid had given me.
Yeah.
And I kind of wrap it
wow.
around the hilt of my sword, and I give it to him.
Your sword?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's quite the gift, Rovik.
I don't know. I do not know what to say. I cannot take your best blade. You've had this since arriving in Iceland, or whatever we call it. You
Sure.
This is the token from your love. You must take this back if I fall. You must make sure that scum does not get to keep this.
But now, you need it more than I do. And of course, I grab your hand to help, your arm to help you up.
Yeah.
And I say,
So I rise
of
up,
course,
but
how could
as
you
I
think
kind
that
of,
I would not, whether you asked or not, take care of your children and make sure they are safe?
Nice.
And then what's her younger or her oldest son's name? That's Ref, right?
yes.
Yeah, Ref is the
That's
oldest.
one that's
Is
in
that the one that has run away with Thora?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And you haven't seen Ref in a long while.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that. It's kind of weird, but
And I
I don't know if
say,
he's gonna be there.
yeah, and I say to you, and I've seen Ref.
You have
He's good. He's good.
Oh, good. Is he? Seeming stronger? Do you think that he will make it on his own as his own man?
Oh, he better soon. You're about to be a grandfather.
I am? Really? Who is
Yeah, and I kind of chuckle.
who is Ref with? I have not known.
I kind of look to the right because, hold on a second.
I actually have no idea who it is. IRL. Wait, who is
I
it?
look to the right because I'm kind of
Thora?
envious of him because I have loved this girl since she was a little girl.
Right.
And I say, well, of course, Thora. You will have lovely children.
Thora. That is a shock. That is a shock. I am sorry that it did not work out the way that you wanted it to. I guess the gods had a different plan in mind with you and Ingrid.
The gods have done me well with Ingrid.
I am glad for you. I am glad.
Very nice. Eamon, as a result of giving a gift to Rovik, you've gained one additional bond with him, which, since you have a relationship with him, puts your bond up to 2. So, it's the morrow. It's the morning. Everybody has turned out for this. There's, 15 or 20 people from, nearby areas, or, everybody from the village, or not the village, but the farmstead. Everybody's standing around in a circle. Rovik, how are you preparing in the 3 minutes prior to your fight with Scum?
Probably sitting cross-legged on the ground, like stretching out his back because it's still feeling a little bit sore from the sparring yesterday, and looking up at the sky and thinking about the god Tyr, and I guess just hoping for the odds to sway in his favor, but he's looking kind of grim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this large cleared space where there's this 15 by 15 foot cloth that's been staked at 4 edges. On one side, there's 3 shields. On the other side, there's 3 shields. Scum is over on the other side, like limbering himself up. Hilda, are you nearby?
Yes.
Yeah, Scum's kind of like, he's looking at you every once in a while and then like checking out his bicep.
God damn you, Steven.
I gotta have fun somehow, man. And he's sort of limbering up, making sure that his shields feel like they're nice, good, and solid. Like bangs on them just a little bit with the hilt of his sword. I guess it would be the Gothi who steps up to claim the beginning of the home Ganga. So, are there any last words before the fight begins?
This is like the fight's gonna begin right now.
Yeah, it's the moment of there are like there's a goat and a cow chained next to the sacrificial altar. Gurney Nightwolf is standing there in a white linen gown, ready to have it removed so that she can be sacrificed. She looks somber but also ready, like she spent the night in contemplation of the life after death and the gods and their will. And she looks like she's come to terms with her fate. And Scum looks a little bit nervous, but he also looks pretty resolute. He's going to win this thing.
So they're going to start, right? I look over, and what are you doing, Rovik, right now? Are you like having a rough time? Because I know you said you were...
Me?
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm just like he's cross-legged on the ground, like breathing and like trying to make his muscles as prepared, like by deep breaths as he could, and like thinking about the god Tyr, and that's about it, and his sons.
So you're sitting on the ground while like Scum is just like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Like,
okay.
Rovik is just like,
yeah. So we've got this great image of like the 2 combatants, one of them very solemn, very somber, feeling the weight of his age.
Yeah.
34 or something. How old are you, Rovik?
I think I'm trying to actually find it on my character sheet how old I said Rovik was.
Oh, you're 35.
Yeah, I didn't write yours down.
35. Yeah, 35 of age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said 32, but I guess it's been a while.
And then Scum was younger, right? Like Scum.
Yeah, I think so. He might be like 28 or something like that, fiery young man. Okay, good. So
when the whatever his name is starts beginning the battle.
Dorothy Steinar?
Yeah, right. When that happens,
yeah.
I go, wait.
Ah.
I would like to take Rovik's place.
What?
No.
You know, like there's a murmur through the crowd, and Steinar sort of looks surprised. He turns to Rovik and says, "Rovik, we've had an offer for your man here to take your place. What say you?"
So Rovik's just kind of like get up, and he's gonna like go stand next to Eamon. Everyone, Eamon, it is a great gesture and a great honor that you do me by offering yourself in place of me, but I cannot allow it. Nor do I think Scum would allow it. And I look over at Scum and I'm kind of like nodding at him like this is like the only time where Scum will ever get a nod of respect from me. Kind of like a hey, we're at least on this same page, right? Like at least we agree on this kind of thing. So I kind of go like that, you know? Like
So
yeah.
It's more
And
of like
then-
you feel like this is your honor.
Yeah, and then I turn back to Eamon and I just say, like, you are the best friend that any man can have. And I know that regardless of how this fight goes today, I will see you once again in Valhalla. So do not think that you need to be offering this. You have many things to live for, Eamon. And like I kind of say that like contently with like a big smile on my face, like you're good. It's totally okay. Like
All right. So he
Just-
kind of feels like you've accepted this and you want to fight this battle. He grabs like your arm and he says, "It would have been an honor to fight for you. But it is even more of an honor to be your friend.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best." And I like hug you and I say, "See you in Valhalla."
Nice.
I don't say anything after that. I just kind of like slam him on the back like that and just kind of, and then I turn around and I grab my sword and my shield.
Yeah, so Steinar, you know, he holds up his staff. He says, "Warriors, grab your weaponry. Stand on opposite sides of the square. The fight may begin as soon as my staff touches the ground." And then from across the square, you hear another man shout, "Wait! It's Vibjorn."
another wait.
It's Scum's friend Vibjorn, who's also lovers of Hilda. He says, "Wait!" And everybody sort of grows silent. And he says, "Scum,
Yes.
good luck. Die well. I'm not going to offer to fight for you." Everybody kind of laughs. Like it's clear
I
that.
think Rovik would laugh too. He's just kind of All right.
He's kind
All
of
right.
poking fun about what just happened, but it's good natured.
yeah.
And then the Steinar says, "All right, everybody, shut up." And he holds his staff up above his head, and then he drops it. Shannon,
Yep.
would you roll 2d6, and then let's calculate
It's
some
young,
bonuses. So you have accepted a physical challenge. So this is plus your young.
Right. Yeah. Good. So that's just no additional bonuses for me.
Crendor, you've laid the spells in the earth.
I have.
In what way are you spending your bonds to manipulate this fight?
I'm spending these bonds negatively towards Rovik here. Definitely negatively.
Oh, it's a -1 or a +1, so it's not -2. So you are giving her
right.
a cumulative minus what? How many bonds are you spending?
5.
-5.
Oh
do you have
damn.
5 bonds with her?
I minus that from my roll, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, but I mean, like I can like do like a -5.
How do you
right?
have 5 bonds?
Because he had 1 from the beginning of last session, 1 from the beginning of this session, and then 3 from reading her fate.
Great.
And because
All right.
because the Seath Kona, because she's a spell weaver, she can actually use her bonds from a distance without even needing to interfere. But Eamon, you were training Rovik. You gave him your sword. Are you spending your bonds to aid Rovik?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, it would be ridiculous if I was his best friend. Why would I not offer to like fight for him, right? And now he won't let me fight for him. So I think like definitely my favor would go to him. So that's +2.
+2 from Maggie.
So that's a total of a -3. So
That's a total of a -3.
Hold on. I have
Oh God.
I have 2 with Rovik as well. I'd like to spend those to save Rovik.
Can you do that?
How are you spending
They
them?
need my help.
Yeah,
you know what?
Rovik
You know
totally
what?
needs your help.
You know what? I'll hold off.
Your
I'll
shield
keep
made
those.
him. Give him your shield. I don't know.
I'll keep what I have. Don't worry.
Yeah, so,
I
like,
have something better planned.
The thing here is, like, you actually need to do something in order to help or interfere, whereas, like, the Seath Kona can just sort of wiggle her fingers and do
Great,
Seath
gotcha.
Kona magic.
Done. Easy.
Awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, so it's a 2d6 -3.
-3. Should we go? Are we gonna go?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Rovik steps onto this piece of fabric, right? That's
Yeah.
what it is, right?
Yep.
And kind of like, like jiggles his this side. He jiggles his shield arm and he like pulls his shield up as close as he can, and he gets his blade ready, and he charges full hilt
Cool.
at Scum.
Okay.
And
So
he
let's
gets
talk
smacked.
this out.
Oh my god.
Let's see how this actually works. So let's see. Yeah. So you are definitely enduring grave harm.
Yeah.
So roll 2d6 plus your young.
Oh, I roll again?
This is to endure grave harm.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to talk through the fight and figure out exactly how it goes. Holy shit.
Nice.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
shit.
kind of bizarre.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's good. That's really good.
No,
So
you
I'm
take
popping-
grave harm, but not a lot of it. You're good.
I'm popping this up for you. So in the upper left-hand corner, when you endure grave harm on a 10 plus, pick 2. It will get better on its own. Otherwise, you will need assistance. It doesn't leave a permanent mark. Otherwise, take a scar. Or it gives you purpose and gain 2 bonds with whomever you consider responsible. So which 2 of those do you want?
Okay, can you read over them
Dude,
again? This is like a
Steven
big
has the
decision.
creepiest smile on his face.
I know,
'cause
right?
I know exactly what he's thinking,
He's
but I'm not going to say anything.
fucking like.
I've popped it up to show it to you in Roll20. Do you see
Oh,
it?
okay. Okay, I'm over there.
Yeah, it's in the upper left-hand corner.
So I picked 2 of these.
Yes.
It's gonna give me purpose, definitely. And the 2 bonds. Do I say out loud or can I say that privately?
We'll save that.
Okay. And then the permanent mark. It will get better on its own.
So either you need someone's help to recover, or you don't gain a scar. And you notice immediately below you have these scars which give you -1 to each of those stats. Whichever
Oh, I
you
see.
take.
I see. Okay, so I will. It will get better on its. I guess we'll say it doesn't leave a permanent mark.
Okay, so it won't leave a permanent mark, so you won't gain a scar.
So I'm
So the
gonna
four
need
scars,
to not get-
for chat are
Right.
crippled, which is -1 young, addled, -1 versed, changed, -1 gendered, or doomed, -1 weird. So she's avoiding, or he rather, is avoiding taking a scar, and it's given you purpose. Okay, great. Let's talk through this and then we'll go to a break. So you come charging at Scum, and his sword meets yours in a furious clash. How do you follow up after your charge?
So I guess after the charge, the roll was shitty. So maybe Scum's first attack is just a complete blow to Rovik's shield arm or something. And
Does it, his first strike shatter your first shield or something like that?
I would think it does, and probably dislocates his shoulder or something pretty
Ooh.
extreme that he can't feel.
Let's
he can't
let's
tell.
save the shoulder dislocation for later in the fight.
Okay.
But I like this. There's probably some kind of
With it,
there's some kind of drum music playing while the warriors slam into each other. He just slams into your shield with a heavy sword blow, and maybe your shield was just a little bit cracked from your practice with Aemon before. It just splinters right down the middle, and you get knocked back. And he presses into you, wailing away with his sword, pressing you back over to your side of the pitch. You're able to fend him off only by parrying wildly. How do you get breathing room to grab your second shield?
I probably take everything I can in one last like gusto kind of swipe. And I actually knock him back a little bit. I probably don't.
Are you like body slamming him and then shoving him off of you?
Yeah.
Nice.
But probably doesn't have the same effect as what he did to me. So it doesn't shatter his shield or anything, but I'm able to just like turn around and grab my next shield like as fast as I can.
Cool.
So that at least gives me that opportunity.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure. I guess I probably turn around and this time I let him come to me. I'm not going to charge at him.
Okay.
And then he goes,
do you get one up on him at all?
I think I do. And I think it's because I realize I can't do the moves that I did. Like it's all very innate in Rovik's mind. But that initial charge that he did was still the kind of person Rovik would have been when he was younger. Again, it's that trying to walk away from remembering how you were when you were strong and invincible and you could beat anyone in combat, and like, you know, like you just had the virility of being so young and tough. And when he just felt his shoulder like get really badly smashed, like from that shield smash, he realized in that moment, like that split instant, right, remember, you're completely, like, you are not the Rovik you once were. So this time he lets Scum come at him, and he instead uses his mind and thinks about, like, swiping at Scum in a certain way that actually, like, he nicks, like, instead of swiping high where the shield is, he actually swipes low and gets Scum on his inner thigh as Scum is running at him.
Cool.
And that's probably how he kind of like manages to best him a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so you two are kind of circling each other. Did we see like a moment smash cut back to like one of Rovik's fights when he was young, when he was going a Viking?
And like that was like his signature thing, was to just charge at it and get it over with and like totally ruin people, but yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, okay. Scum says, that was a lucky hit. But you won't have your luck hold out for long. You're running out of shields. And he comes back at you again with a series of heavy pounds with his sword. And then as you're blocking the blow from the sword, he just slams into you with his shield, lifts you up off of your feet, and comes down with a sharp swipe to the back of your leg. He catches you on the calf and actually cuts you quite deep, and you're bleeding pretty badly. You manage to sort of roll away and get your footing back, but you're starting to limp. How does the fight go from here? Like, it's kind of a tense moment when you're both a little bit wounded, but neither of you has a clear advantage or disadvantage yet.
Well, that's kind of what I'm curious on because of the rolls. So I don't know how this is supposed to work, like how far I can take it with describing it.
Well, you're not going to kill him, but go wherever you'd like from there.
So maybe as Rovik gets pushed back a second time from Scum, he's gonna turn around and kind of like taunt Scum a little bit, but not in a really disrespectful way, but just sort of like a show me everything you have, kind of like passive aggressive kind of way, I guess.
Yeah. Are you just like holding your arms out pretty open?
Yeah, just kind of like, well, not opening my arms up, but just kind of like I'm not going to charge at you again, so bring it on kind of thing. So show me everything you have. And he kind of just like raises up his shield. And if Scum charges at him again, he's going to maybe like push him off with his shield and then kind of turn around and get Scum on the back.
Yeah. So like we see this plan form in your mind. We see how it's gonna go. He's gonna charge at you. You're gonna shove him back. He's gonna
find different ways to.
You're gonna try to like spin him by shoving him off of you and then cut him across the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he comes dashing in at you, like sword raised high, shield out, and you catch him with your shield. And then like what we see is this look of surprise on Rovik's face. As instead of like slamming into you full force, he actually kind of slips by you. And like we have that moment where it's like Rovik's face in the camera, just shocked as we hear that. And the camera pulls back and Scum's sword is sticking out of your belly on the left-hand side.
Oh,
and he's just skewered you from behind. And you cough, and there's just like a little spray of blood that comes out of your mouth. You collapse down on one knee, and he pulls his sword out from your back. And like the crowd just like explodes. And I think we should take a 5-minute break. Good. So don't go anywhere. 5 minutes. We'll come back with more Sagas of the Icelanders. Week number 4.